Hello, everybody, and welcome back to VanirQuick. We've got an amazing game for you here today in Masters Playoffs. It's going to be so exciting. As usual, I am the Holy Monkey, and I'm joined by the amazing Zima. How are we doing today?
I'm doing good. Excited to cast a playoff match
Yes.
uh, of VQ. It is very important match today. The
Oh, yeah.
top two teams will advance to the OWCF relegation matches, so they will have a chance to play against Stellacy and 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's
But the road starts here. This is the first match. You
yeah.
have to win I believe 3 out of your 4 matches here to qualify.
Yes, I believe so. Because is it both finalists in the playoffs, or is it
It is
like
both
one up?
finalists.
Yeah. So yeah. So you got to
Yeah,
get right. You got to get right to the end. So as long as you can get to the finals, you still get your chance. But end of the day, there's a lot on the line, like you said. So it's really important. And obviously, being the first game of the day, there is always the chance to come back through the lower bracket. There is ever so
yep,
slight safety net, but no one really wants to go down to that point. Everyone would want to do their best possible to have a fair
yeah.
chance. But there are some tough teams in these playoffs, so it's going to be really interesting to see how our lovely team can do today.
Well, speaking of tough teams, I feel like both teams today are extremely tough.
Yeah.
VanirQuick are on a 10 match win streak. Dystopia on a 6 match win streak. They're both all like
Okay.
fired up, all hot, and ready to go for this playoff.
Yeah, it's
And
going to be really interesting.
yeah, both these teams absolutely on a roll, and neither of them want to stop here. Neither of them
No.
want to go to the lower bracket, and I'm excited to see how it pans out.
Yeah.
Obviously, VanirQuick about a month ago won in the regular season against Dystopia, but I believe you told me before the show that
They've had some roster changes, and those roster
yeah,
changes have resulted in them doing so well lately. Like you said, with the 6 win streak, so it's gonna be interesting to see how well this new roster holds their own against VQ today.
yeah. Speaking of rosters, Dystopia have Jamal, Makade, Bafias, Whitebeard, and Aufi.
Okay, so
So
yes, we've got some definitely new faces on there. It's gonna be interesting to see if they can show us here today why they're on such a hot streak. I mean, VQ, we love them, so we've seen what they can do. But I'm dead curious to see what type of performance can Dystopia put up today, and can they hold their own against VQ for their long-awaited rematch?
yeah. On the other side, you know him, you love him. It's Elias, Zoro, Central, Appan, Domix, and Kael. And the boys are fired up. The lobby is starting up on FACEIT, so we're gonna have some bands and some maps very soon for you guys.
It's going to be quite interesting to see what people go with as. Oh, I wouldn't say there's been too much like heavy shifting in the meta for a little while, for the last little while now. As none of the major patches have been too inflicting on what we know to see, but we're going to Oasis for our first map.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Uh,
I,
yeah, I guess.
yeah. I mean, can't go wrong, can you? It's a pretty decent. It's a nice, well-rounded map, and it gives you a lot of versatility. But in terms of bans, what are we thinking about the cast coming out from VQ here?
Yeah, great ban on this map. It has a lot of pretty short sidelines. Like Cask drives a lot here. And on the other side, Wuyang. I'm not sure what to think about this one.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a bit of an. I don't get me wrong. It's not like Wu Yang's bad or not good in any form of the meta right now, but it's not like your average day ban that you run of the mill. Normally, you see like if it's going for a support ban, it's normally like a Kiriko, Ana, something quite common, like Jetpack Cat on occasion.
Cat,
Yeah,
Mizuki,
Mizuki.
currently
Yeah, Mizuki's
the
obviously
most
become
banned
quite heavy meta.
hero this season, but we do
Really?
see,
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
yeah,
But then again,
Dystopia,
makes sense. Mizuki's got just a heavy
yeah.
boost in meta, which makes
Yeah,
a lot of
Dystopia
sense.
pull up on the Ramatra comp with a Symmetra, and on the other side of VQ, we
Okay.
have the cat in play for
Yeah.
our boys.
It's
And
interesting though. So interesting
Yeah.
cat into that comp. There's no like normally you see it with like a pair of a Bastion and obviously a cast is an option. But obviously VQ did ban it themselves. But Zoro gets put very low, but just able to get out of their life. But Ramacho here getting bursted down. We see Elias going crazy on the Tracer, but Zoro just gets caught out by a railgun headshot. But VQ do manage to get first cap of the point, which is nice. So that sacrifice from Zoro doesn't go down in vain.
Yeah, a lot of percentage already built up here, but there's still one man down, and Buffy is here on point, just securing it for his team. And yeah, the clip goes through. Unfortunately, VanirQuick aren't able to hold for now.
Yeah, it's a nice bit, a little bit of percentage though. They got a little bit of a boost ahead, so it gives them a bit of time to regroup without giving too much. And a nice opening pick from Central. Getting an open pick onto Jamal to Metra. That going down straight away is a huge benefit for Diva as being the main pod one team. Zoro finds a nice pick on the booth it is. And taking down the tank as well as one of the main forms of DPS, that's going to be a very easy flip for VQ.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk about how, like, the Freya is a really good pick against the Symmetra. She can when they come through the teleporter, you can do so much damage in an area with your...
Pop a few arrows on the teleport and you do a bit of damage, a bit of ult charge.
So I feel like VanirQuick are prepared to face Dystopia. They know what they're going to face, and yeah, they're come prepared into this. They have so many ultimates going to the next fight. I don't see how they can lose this one.
Pulse Bomb comes out, does miss, thanks to the Suzu is Z help, and everyone's popping the ult. Zoro does, pops the both, but Cal goes in, gets two, with thanks to Tomex's amazing Kitsune rush going in, central outdown finishes off Alfie as well. Elias is trying just to burst Jamal down, and wow.
Buffy has just used the ult 1v5. That is one huge mistake. I mean, don't know if they want to swap, but that was a choice. Yeah, I mean, Dystopia does have a lot of ultimates still, but yeah, I mean, you could have used that ultimate here, but here comes the catnap. It gets a kill before falling down himself.
They do get a nice pick on the soldier in there, but it does get traded for it, so it might not be the best. So kind of just find a little bit of value. But then going in, down goes Jamal's symbol, so that bit of extra protection might be what Dystopia needs to try and hold out and try and fit the point as they are going to get the flip nice and early, just before VQ can contest. So it's back up to the board now.
Overclock.
Very risky, yeah. Overclock.
The only ult available.
Oh, Jamal goes down 1 health. Just barely gets out though, does miss one, misses two. But thankfully he's able to get a nice bit of damage to Atomic so they can get finished off. Zoro does find a nice pick of the Whitebeard, Hell takes down Soldier as well. The bowler does get eaten, Zoro does unfortunately get no value out of it. He's getting a lot of value out of this demon pick, way more than the Ramacha, but Elias is able to finish cleaning them up. And with a bit of a numbers advantage, VQ are looking to get another flip onto the point. Jamal goes down as well from Central. Kyle gets another pick onto Alfie. And it seems this can be a very quick first point over to VQ on Oasis.
Yeah, Dystopia did not feel...
Get a touch?
Yeah, Dystopia did not feel comfortable on this map at all. No, I mean, they went out on Ramacha, Ramacha Symmetra, which got completely shut down by the composition of VanirQuick. They had the preparation to know what they're gonna face, and they kind of just destroyed it in this first point. But here comes the next one. Now Dystopia knows what they're facing. What are you gonna do now? How are you gonna adjust? Because Freya into Diva is not the best ever pick. It can still work, but
yeah, it definitely can. But it makes you think like we do see some interesting swaps going here. Obviously, we're swapping the Soldier for the Emery, which is not bad at all. But going on to the Wrecking Ball now, but okay,
that's interesting.
Going back to the Trace is good. Just using the TP to get out spawn is sensible. But the Wrecking Ball is definitely interesting. I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah, you're gonna try to go on this Kiriko, try to make her life uncomfortable maybe, but overall, yeah, you're gonna try to team up with your Tracer and try to get some kills here, but rolling around for now. Central Weapons feeling a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Wrecking Ball just being in your presence does apply a nice amount of pressure onto you and your team, but it seems VQ, they are going to allow VQ to get an easy touch, unless Wrecking Ball has anything to say about it. Reaper is trying to put a bit of pressure onto Zoro, but not finding any value, just being a little mosquito. And still nobody's kept the point, but Zoro getting bursted down and gets taken down by Bufu with a grapple. Taking the nice bit of number down, Elias and Kyle getting put down 1 HP. Bufu finds another one. Down goes central lap as well, getting DMX'd by the Wrecking Ball. Finds third. Okay, so
Yeah.
the Wrecking Ball value is definitely showing now. Have we got a bit of a secret Wrecking Ball player going on that we weren't aware of? Oh, nice.
I guess so. Tomix falls down to whatever that name is.
Whoever that might be.
Whoever that might be. And yeah, so far the ball has proven himself valuable in this composition, but goes low. Oh my god, everybody on Team VanirQuick are able to shut down the ball here, and now they have a pick going to the next fight. They have a bit of an ultimate advantage here as well. They're closer to their ultimates, so Dystopia has to disengage.
Buffa went way too deep, they got caught out a bit, but a nice pick on, nice swap onto the Shion from Zoro. I think that's a lot more sensible. It was a bit more, sorry, less vulnerable than what a Freya would be against the Wrecking Ball. So it's a sensible swap, and now VQ have finally fit the point. It'll be interesting to see, can they keep control of it this time round? We do see a lot of pressure going onto the backside. The kidnap Whitebeard and finishes them off, but Elias gets taken down by Buffa in return. And Buffa is just going insane on the Wrecking Ball. Finds a nice pick onto Tomix as well in the backline with the help of the mine. Central lap then goes down with the grenade from Emery as well, and Jamal's there to finish up Kyle. And they're getting a nice flip back. And this feels a bit more like they're in their element now. I think Buffa definitely, the swap from Wrecking Balls made an infinite amount of difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Buffa is doing so much in this fight, and yeah, able to secure the point, flip back. VanirQuick only get 24% here, and they now need something here. Stomach has the ultimate here with the Kitsune Rush to start off the fight. Will that be enough against the old bank of Dystopia?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Tomix does pop it, and Central Left Hand on the Malga now is definitely going to be more focusing on bursting down Buffa's absurd amount of HP, and they do get a nice bit of the point to flip it, but out comes the Override Protocol, trying to get any opening picks, finding no one, just shooting blanks all across the map, and doesn't find any value of such an insanely strong ultimate, so it's really interesting on why they popped it so early. I guess it was a reaction, but Whitebeard gets a nice pick onto Zoro, as Elias is getting a lot of pressure put onto them by Jamal. And being down at DPS already is not looking good for this opening fight. Wrecking Ball, nice pulse spot from Elias, taking down Alpha, huge, but Jamal trades back onto Kyle, who's on the Lucio. Well, going one-for-one support is good, but I think taking down the Kiriko is way more valuable in this situation. But down goes Tomix, so Buffa finishes off, but Elias gets a nice trade onto Emery as well. Down goes the mine onto the Malga, who's getting booped into them by the Lucio in a nice combination coming out from the Wrecking Ball Lucio boop into the mine.
Yeah.
And that team synergy, this must be why Dystopia have got so many wins under their belt lately. Found this roster swap.
Importantly, after the Kitsune Rush got popped, Dystopia just gave up the points, so now VanirQuick has a lot of time to come back into this one. If that didn't happen, they just would have lost at this point. But they still have the chance here. They are in the Malga now. They made a switch. And here comes Zoro. But it gets the beat force.
Beat out, yeah. Getting beat out at this point is amazing because they still got one bit of time for 1 or 2 fights left. Maybe 3 at a push if they can touch in overtime. But they're going for the flip now. And Elias is trying to put so much pressure onto Jamal. Not finding quite enough. But Zoro looking for a bit of a flank. They do get the flip. So now the clock is now ticking, but down goes Kyle. Buffa finds an opening pick. Kyle is just a little bit shy off a beat. Zoro does find a trade for themselves onto the Emery, so a bit of DPS going is really huge, but Buffa is getting really low now. Zoro's bursting them down. And they're being forced to run away, but they've left point as 99%. And Jamal gets a nice pick onto Tomix. That's not what you want to see, as Kyle's not even back to the point. He does finally get back, but instantly gets taken out by Jamal in return. And with the point being back to Dystopia, overtime is ticking. Zoro goes down, that's 3-2. And there's nice pulse bomb at the central, and what can they do? Elias can't do much there. I think fair enough to move, but I feel that Wrecking Ball just insane.
Yeah, VanirQuick, they're running a rush combo, they keep getting
picked off.
Yeah, they keep getting picked off one by one on some weird angle, but you cannot do that. You have to be a little bit more organized here. You have to have some help to those players. You have to be a little bit closer together if you're running this type of competition. Of course, you cannot give up all types of off angles. The Zoro, Shion can still take a lot of angles, but you know what lost them the round is just the amount of pickoffs that Buffa was able to provide on this Wrecking Ball. I mean, alongside with Jamal on the Tracer there.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Jamal's Tracer was kind of nutty over the Symmetra. I think those two swap mates are a world of difference. We do see Vanir's, they dug up a little swap of Kyle going over to Mizuki, and I think that could be the game changer here for such a mobile comp that Dystopia are running here.
Yeah, absolutely. The chain is so insane.
Yeah, well, easily one of the best abilities in the game now. I'd say in terms of support, it probably rivals Suzu for like the best support ability in the game. I mean, Suzu is a day still, but it's any ability to provide that much value is crazy. But Zora gets a nice opening pick on the Alfie, whereas Elias gets traded with a dirty rail headshot. They've got 1-for-1, but trading a Tracer for a Kiri is much different levels of value as they do put a lot of pressure. Take down Soldier with a nice burst coming out from Xion. Zora has a great opening pick. Central Lapland gets some nice pickers with the boosters onto Whitebeard, and they get a nice quick opening capture onto the third point. They're looking a bit more stable now.
And look how much Central Apan has done damage. Already on 70% to the mech. And across the board, everybody has so much more percentage on VQ Nova. They just done so much more in that fight.
Aside from Jamal, Jamal's got a lot of percentage up on Elias, but then again, Elias did get picked off quite early on from the Soldier headshot. But it'd be interesting. There's definitely seems. I mean, don't get me wrong, this sub point is definitely not as Wrecking Ball favoured as say the last one was, as there's nowhere near enough high ground to be moving on. But Whitebeard finds a nice opening pick from Zoro. Quite interesting if they've allowed that to happen. Kyle gets a nice reverse back onto Jamal, and down goes the bomb. This is it being so crucial the fact they've been able to get that off. Gets back into fire, but unfortunately Kyle gets caught out by Boofer. And that's not what you want to see going into the 50% already on the board, and there's still not much contention from Dystopia, but it seems they are forcing BQ off the point, which I think makes a lot of sense.
They're gonna have to fall back here.
Oh, hold on,
no. The Kitsune Rush is there for They will be able to hold this on for a little bit while, and Zoro gets a pick as well.
Ooh,
goes with a spree, gets one. Will it be two? The Tracer falls low, but she will be able to survive.
The Mizuki trade, look, that single-handedly to stop moving the trap. Wow, the defense of that. Tomex's Kitsune Rush going in and allowing BQ to have any form of hope to fight back and win that fight is insane. Dystopia do have ultimates though. They've got the Kitsune Russian Soldier, they've got the railgun, so they could easily pop off here. But as long as they
they were forced to make some swaps here again. But Zoro finding a pick so early on, and now Dystopia are in a world of trouble here as they have to touch in about 1%. But Bufa gets a pick onto Elias. They have a bit of a way into this map here still.
Hope. So you have hope. But because there goes the overclock, but popping it so far away from the point, so they've got basically no value with it. They didn't get any value. Okay, nice pick from Bufa onto Kyle, but they are able to get the flip in overtime, just barely by the skin of their teeth, and gets another one with the Nemesis form. And they're going down, running down Central Lapland, running down Tomex as well. They're going for a full bit of a team fight towards their own stagger here. That's a nasty stagger, and really well played. Bufa almost having annihilation already.
They could have staggered Central Lapland a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely.
Like they just killed him a bit too early. I think he got the same wave again as Tomix. And yeah, okay, not as big of staggers as you could have, but I mean, I don't blame them. It's a tough match, but VanirQuick, they have the Kitsune Rush available for the next fight. The beat isn't quite there. Whitebeard needs to farm it as quickly as possible before this Kitsune Rush, but it's here already. And
yeah, then goes. They want to get a very aggressive push, but Bufa goes down instantly because they can't handle the amount of damage that's coming out from Zoro and Central Lapland. It's an absurd amount of damage over time coming out. Down goes to Sanctuary Propel, but a bit more protection for the team. Down goes Whitebeard, and the bomb gets eaten by the Sanctuary. A beautiful pick from Zoro, taking down two. Central Lapland finish off the Soldier. Cal gets one final pick from Jamal, and we do see Bufa does come back on the Wrecking Ball to get that last bit of overtime touch, but he can't get back to the point in time. They took the wrong way. And first point goes over to VQ on Oasis.
Yeah, and deserved. I mean,
honestly,
yeah, definitely. You had a little bit of hiccup against the ball on the second map. Yeah, but
the Mizuki made a world of difference against the
they looked so much better when they didn't have to face the ball. But it is a little bit of a wake-up call. You will have to face against this ball again in this series. How are you going to deal with it? You weren't able to do it here. You have to make some adjustments. You have to make some adaptations. And I mean, now VQ know that the opponent is running ball. Maybe they can ban around it as well. Maybe they didn't know it prior, but with
Yeah, 100%.
I mean with the stuff they run out on, I believe they might have a bit of a scout on what Dystopia has to offer. So I don't know. Maybe they just didn't expect the ball to be that good.
No,
Uh,
to be fair, neither did I. I was definitely
yeah,
doubting it. I think we both kind of doubted it a little bit because you don't see many Wrecking Ball players. But to be fair, anyone that plays Wrecking Ball at this level of play tend to be very good on Wrecking Ball. Like
yeah,
Junbin in OWCS, for example, is like the Wrecking Ball of
yeah.
top tier one. So there's always that one or two players, and they are always a pleasant surprise to see, as they do always put on the show. And we did just see that they basically single-handedly, along with Jamal's Trace, who put in a lot of work in the second point, they kept them in that game for as long as they did, but they just couldn't handle that Mizuki. So I wouldn't be surprised if a Mizuki ban does come out, so they can be a bit more free on that Wrecking Ball, because it
Maybe.
instantly
Yeah,
put them in their tracks. It's an option, but then also the Wrecking Ball ban could be potential for
yeah,
VQ, as we did see it did dismantle that VQ's comp at first until they like swapped it around for the third point. So there's options.
yeah. I feel like the only weapon we've seen, Dystopia pull out that really hurt EQ was the Wrecking Ball. It can just be
Yeah,
banned.
it can be
If
banned.
you,
It can be countered. That's the thing with Wrecking Ball.
yeah,
If you let Wrecking Ball do what they want, they can be a lobby admin. But Wrecking Ball, he's such an easily counterable hero, and also you can just ban
yeah.
it at the end of the day as well. So it's not as bad as some other heroes that you want to ban and also very little counterplay to, like Kiriko.
Well, let's not forget how good Jamal was on Tracer.
Yes, I
It's
was
this game.
surprised by how they put Elias on the leash. To be honest, Elias did not do
Yeah,
much on that second and third point. They kind of just were like a little mosquito. Zoro had to do a lot of the DPS work that game. I mean, that's not me throwing shade, but it's just that means Jamal was doing their job correctly by putting a lot
yeah.
of pressure onto the other Tracer, which is what you should do. So them putting that much pressure onto Elias kind of took them out of the game in a way, while Jamal was still finding value in many team fights. But
Hmm.
I'm quite happy with so far what we've seen from Dystopia, and pleasantly surprised by how well their roster changes are putting up a good fight against VQ. As while
Yeah.
that last point was definitely more sided towards VQ, they definitely put up a fight throughout it. So I can't shade them for going down easy. So I'm hoping that they can pull out a few stops here in the first three here.
Yeah, I mean, from looking from, I wasn't expecting this to be a blowout. So my
Yeah,
expectations have been met so far. The first map was pretty close. It could have gone either way, but
yeah,
VanirQuick
I honestly
did
could, but
look better on compositions that didn't involve a ball on the other side. So
and high ground. It just happened to be that the Wrecking Ball thrive with the high ground Oasis
mhm.
point, and both the low ground ones Wrecking Ball couldn't really do it much on it. So I think it's perfectly fine. So it'd be interesting to see where Dystopia wants to go today, and if they're thinking about, yeah, if okay, Circle Royale's kind of your go-to map. I wouldn't be surprised if we do either of these tanks play Sigma much, because this is kind of
um,
the Sigma map.
it used to be the Sigma map. Now it's kind of the Ramatra map. Of course,
Yeah,
Ramasha
true.
still has that shield to
Yeah,
block all damage from this one lane. This is a very linear map.
yeah,
No 3-lane theory here. Almost anywhere. You
yeah.
just get
This map is just
damage
a
from one
whole one
direction.
lane. Yeah, it
But
more or
yeah,
less is.
as Widow fell out of fashion,
Thank God.
yeah, you kind of stopped needing the Sigma to counter her. You now most of the time see Ramatra here or Orisa or something like that. Something
More
very,
of a
very tanky.
more rushy,
Yeah,
yeah, more
yeah, more
tanky.
rushy, brawly tanks
Yeah.
that can just hold
Okay.
space.
Freya,
But
Juno.
yeah, Freya gets banned.
Freya
Okay,
makes it. Zoro is a
this
monster. Zoro is a monster,
this
Freya.
is telegraphing a sim pick. Dystopia, I feel
Yes.
like wants
Sim
to
is good on
run
this
sim,
map.
but Freya is just so good against the sim comps. If you want to come through the teleporter, she
That
does so
pressure.
much damage to
It's the
everybody
pressure
on
she
your
puts on,
team.
yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
the AoE bola or not the bola shots, but the even the bola shots, but also the
The
just
right
normal
clicks.
right
Yeah.
clicks. They do
Yeah.
so much.
Lots of damage, lots of pressure. So I can definitely see a sim pick coming out here. It'd be
Oh,
interesting. Oh, okay. Instantly, oh, gets a nice opening pick onto the Bastion. That's quite surprising. Booper did try and go for a bit of a cheeky hog at the start there, but evidently found no value, so going back to Raman to make sense. But yeah, Jamal is on the Symmetra like you mentioned. And
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there in the first fight, but Elias already has 40% to the Blizzard.
Ooh,
so that's looking really good. The Sim TP comes in, but Central Fan finds a kill on the Whitebeard with the rock.
Didn't even see them going up there. They were going for a bit of a sneaky attack there. Why they get caught out amazing. Zoro finishes off Boofer. They're looking really strong here. Amazing lockdown combo. I like to see the Mei with the Sigma. It's just really good for cutting people off, getting lots of damage and lots of pressure.
Yeah.
Zoro going for a bit of a different approach with the Freya band. Going on to the M-Race with plenty of long-range pressure. Still does the job. Exactly what you want. But the Kyle is interesting.
Oh yeah, Buffet gets cut off there. And so much damage coming through on everybody on the side of Dystopia, but they're able to live for now.
Yeah,
and
get into the first
they're
corner.
stabilized.
This is the part. This is kind of the first hard corner to really. Well, I say second hard corner. The very first corner is a nightmare to get past sometimes. But this is a main choke where a lot of people get held on this map for the entirety of their attack. But it all comes down to can they get an opening, taking it so hard when you can dance around this corner as defenders. Blizzard does come out though. Does find
Buffet gets
Boofer.
frozen here. He doesn't live either. Tomix. Yes, and that was the quickest Mei Blizzard I've ever seen. I mean, the Tomix really built that really fast.
Minute 30, give or take.
Yeah, something like that.
Insanely quick. I mean, ults are coming up online now anyways, as everyone, Nelson VQ has their ults, and everyone but Jamal and Dystopia is gradually getting to theirs. And Jamal's quite a bit away, actually, surprisingly. Was Sim would you normally think would be a lot pokier. The boots are getting a lot of damage. Out comes the Flux. Last does find two. But down goes the beat. Does save an Anna Suzu comes in handy as well. You do see out comes the Wu Yang. Does find anyone? Yes, that's a nice stun onto the soldier. Get taken down by the override protocol. Did he find two? Did he find one on as well? No, barely, but Central Atlas the finish off Whitebeard. Just gets taken down by Boofer in return. No, Jamal is there ready with the wall, and we do see though Boofer's going up on a bit of a flank to try and catch off Comet. They do go down by the Symmetra wall. They can't keep you out. They don't. Everyone ran away a bit too quick. Or maybe it was on cooldown, so they couldn't get away. But really, even by time Dystopia.
Very messy fight there from VanirQuick. I mean, they kept getting picks, but they were going so far in to get them that it didn't really matter. But at this point, Buffet has the Annihilation here to secure this point. The overclock is there as well.
Yeah, we do see though 25 HP living on a prayer. They do barely get back to Elias. But an amazing opening thing on the soldier, and the wall comes out, is off Boofer, and they get taken down. Zoro finds Alfie as well. And so close to getting to the first checkpoint, but they've managed to break through that nasty corner choke, and they make a cheeky swap onto the castle.
Yeah,
so I mean, really far forward.
Dystopia are looking at a full hold here if they cannot win this next fight. Bufayes does have the annihilation, but you know, Elias still has the Blizzard. I mean, it's gonna be very close here. Elias has to build it 10% away from it, but if you can do it. If you can do it, Bufayes will not be able to live that.
No, definitely not. There's going to be way too much damage, and I was about to say, VQ are building up a lot of ult. Flux now comes out. Did he find anyone? Boofer does get picked up, but thankfully Kasuni takes almost little to no damage. Down comes the Kasuni rush out of Alfie. They are trying to make a bit of a rush. Hopefully with the Annihilation they can finally get something down. Goes Nemesis form. They're going to have to pop Annihilation any second now, but that's Sim Beam is destroying Central Lapland as the cast gets one, gets two, finds three, finds four. And just, Jesus, gets a headshot after headshot, bursting down everyone on VQ, and they managed to win that without having to use all their ult. They still have the Annihilation.
Yeah.
But then again, VQ did only pop the Flux. They saved both Wu Yang and Mei, which I think is sensible.
I mean, they did lose the first pick there, so it makes sense for them not to overinvest into a losing fight. But they did save so many ults there that I feel like they could have used to maybe force out the annihilation from Dystopia or something like that. But here comes Zoro's override protocol.
Find any picks this time. Oh, but a nice counter High Noon finishes them off, but they get picked up by Elias. Finds one, finding two with the Blizzard, getting huge value. It's a nice headshot into the room onto the Kiriko. But Boofer now decides to pop the annihilation as they are very low.
Freeze perk.
Oh, freeze perk. Okay, you don't see that every day. Okay, why are we committing Sim Wall for?
I mean, Jamal did get two picks. He's getting the third as well. I mean, Elias is the last one standing, and that is why you commit the symbol. You had 2 picks already before
Jamal
it.
had just
And
single-handedly saved that point, more or less, getting amazing picks from the charge beam. You love
yeah,
to
and that's
see
what
it.
happens if you let the sim build up the charge, and she can just annihilate your team. But Dystopia did use pretty much everything they had. They have the Kitsune Rush, but it's not built up yet. They have to disengage from the Kitsune Rush of VanirQuick. And they still have the bubble from the Wu Yang after this. And Flux, yeah.
Down goes Cass.
Central ban.
Okay. That's a nice open
Finding
pick
kill.
from Central Lapland. Really huge pick. But kiting out their own Kitsune Rush. Alfie is supposed to be a bit far back, to be honest. Not quite close to the point to get much value. So they're going to have to kite back on their own. And they just did not find much value. We do see though Elias himself swapped over to the Symmetra, so he's able to get the TP out to get back to the spawn real quick. Oh, Jamal found a nice opening pick onto Kael though. And
Okay,
can they make any value off it? Come on, Boofer does need to push up a little bit and try and make a bit of space. And Central Lapland is giving it. They know they're down in support, so they need to back up, but they can't leave the point. There's only one fight left. They could really easily cut their attack short here. They just barely give them the point, and out comes the tidal wave. Just finds the gun, gets knocked a load down, but out comes the annihilation from Boofer. Just force Central Lapland off the point, leaving living on a prayer. They push them a little bit too much, but they do get the checkpoint.
Yeah, the cap comes through here.
And they just kind of run them down now, try and get a few opening picks to make a bit of space.
I mean,
one themselves. Oh no.
VanirQuick are finding some picks here of their own as well. It is a very messy fight, but the spawns will favor Dystopia here, and I mean, they even get some card push to sweeten the deal. But yeah, VanirQuick, again, losing the fight in overtime, and Dystopia...
Very close again, yeah.
They already have a pretty good push. They only have a minute to push this card in, but this is already such a good start, such a good map for them with how it started.
Yeah, 100%. They got there in the end. And when you've got VQ able to chip down a good amount of time, so even if they do get it all the way to the end, they're not... Dystopia are not going to have much overtime bank built up, so I think it's not the end of the world, as they did have such an amazing hold on that first point. But I think obviously it would be way more optimal if they do hold them before they can get to their checkpoint. But the Cass does find a nice opening pick on the Kael. Flux does come out. They do take down Boofer in return. Zoro's overclock is there and ready. They don't find much value of it, unfortunately. But both the Maywalls are coming out. Elias is popping theirs a bit late, slightly late to us, ever so slightly longer. And out comes the Kitsune Rush on both sides. Alfie and Sonic both popping theirs simultaneously. Zoro and Central Lapland living on a prayer. So the Cass flank onto the high ground, takes down Tomix, or Whitebit finishes off Lapland. And Elias takes down Jamal in return, but the Cass is popping off, getting one, getting two in return. And Whitebit at the finish off Zoro, and they continue their push with a nice team kill as they're looking to full cap on their attack.
Yeah, it's been a game of DPS for Dystopia here. Jamal was crucial for their cap of first and second point, but now it's
Cass
finding another kill here to start of the fight. And the High Noon is there to completely annihilate Central Lapland as well. It is looking all but over for VanirQuick's defense on round 1 here.
I think it's okay, they did get to overtime, so they obviously only have a minute max if VQ can get to the end themselves, but they've got to put a lock on this Cass. And just more or less been the reason why they've won so many fights and been able to continue this game, as they popped off in that first fight on the first point. They allowed them to continue their push here on the third point. So it makes you think, would you want to focus them a little bit more? Because they feel like they're kind of getting away with murder.
Yeah, I mean, VanirQuick gotta feel robbed at this point. You get to overtime 3 times, and all of the times you got to overtime, you lost the point. And yeah, you have a little bit of a monumental task here to full cap this map to get a win on this, to get a chance to win it. But they did look really good on the defense. Will they be as good as on the attack?
Let's get on with this.
Here we can see the stats. I mean, ooh, look at that. 21 kills and 5 deaths.
Yeah, they've been a bit of a nasty force of nature here on their attack, but it's going to be interesting. They are going for... It does seem Dystopia want to go for a slightly more close range type comp here on their defense compared to the more long range comp you normally see here in Circuit. And VQ are sticking with their tried and true, what was working so well on their defense for so long. But
yeah, I mean, VQ did look a little bit lost in the last point.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Elias switched over to Sim. It didn't get that much value. It doesn't feel like it was. It's as practiced as what they're running right now. And yeah, it was a bit of a dud in terms of the swaps, but yeah, going back to the tried and tested May here to hopefully get this card in.
They got so much value with it on their defense, picking up and getting so many nice walls onto Booth. It makes a lot of sense, but they are just doing so much free space. They do get rid of the teleport before Booth can get through it. It's not going to be a free pick. The wall does come out, prevents them to back all the way up, but that block just reduces too much their damage to 0. There's a little bit of healing. They do get through. Zoro finds a nice pick on the Whitebeard. Central lap and takes down Cass as well, and Alliance is there to take down Jamal in return. And do another switch headshot, takes down Boofer. Do they can get the 5th? No, Alfie just barely gets away.
I mean,
yeah, okay, just barely escapes their life, and they're getting that
a
all
big
the way
misplay there from the a big misplay there from Dystopia, letting the TP get broken before Bufayez was able to take it, meant that you had to use so many resources to keep your tank alive that at the end of the game, at the end of the fight, you just have nothing to against the force of Zoro and the rest of the squad, who were just able to annihilate. But I mean, the fight is still going on here as the VQ squad are rolling the card in. And
they basically got ran down after all those cooldowns got used, so they've got such a healthier time bank this time going into the second checkpoint VQ here. So their attack is definitely looking a bit more confident, a bit more solidified. As Boofer needs to be really careful these May walls, as we saw on the defense, and now here on the VQ attack. They basically essentially your demise, but out comes all the ultimates. Down goes both Kitsune Rush's Tidal goes down as well. Just not find any value, and Boofer is able to take down Central Lap and finishes off Elias as well. And down goes Zoro to finish off the fight, and then going to give it up and reset. And I
feel like VQ could have used a little bit more there to try to secure that fight, but
yeah, they only had to use the one ult. They got away for 1 to 2 trades ult and a fight win, so that was way more value for Dystopia. And now no support ults for VQ or having to beat up.
I mean, both teams have the tank ult still, and here comes Zoro with the OC trying to get some picks here.
Come on,
but there's nobody.
Be careful. Okay.
Oh, but Dystopia has every tool available to them to not get caught off by that. The May Freeze does find 2, but the Beat was able to delay their deaths, but only just as everybody on the team Dystopia falls here, and VanirQuick gets some much needed push.
I feel the Beat might have been ever so slightly too early, because they used it before the Blizzard quite went down. Or just as it got used. So by the time Beat was already halfway over, by the time those on Dystopia got frozen. So I feel like they used it ever so slightly later. They may potentially survive, but out
big May wall.
Cast.
Oh, there's a cat. Okay, the shield was there to protect Bufayez, but yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, they got to the point. They've been forced them to back off, but we did briefly use Annihilation as well, so given their own tank ult already, he's kind of crucial. Jamal gets an opening pick onto Elias, and Cass finishes on Zoro, so losing both DPS already. Getting burst down, so that does go down to the Sim, Kiri. And lots of
they get staggered a little bit as well. Oh no. Kael is gonna get Giga staggered here.
That's a bad stagger. That's a solid 10.
Okay. It's all good. You still have 3 minutes remaining though.
Yeah.
But
Zoro gets staggered as well.
Okay, he didn't get the same wave as Kyle, I think, so it's fine.
So they're back at the same time, so no time.
Yeah, you are building a big ult bank here if you're VanirQuick. I mean, you have 3 ultimates available, but both Kitsune Rush used here. In spawn.
Very aggressive. Yeah, in spawn nevertheless. Very aggressive coming out from Dystopia, I like it. They do trade some out there for wide, but it's not the most optimal trade. But Boofers gets cornered off by the wall once again. Being forced to go to Nemesis, they do just barely get the TP out. Okay, so they're able to get themselves out of the spawn. They're making their way up the ramp now, but the tank is a little behind. And that headshot damage onto Kai was brutal. And this is what's so scary about Cass. If a Cass is accurate, they can burst your health in a millisecond. Down goes the Flux. Can they find any pick? Out comes the Blizzard once again as well. Do they find anyone? They do find the Lucio, but the Suzu saves them. That's 2 ults for nothing. Down comes the Symbol though in return. We do have High Noon coming up any second now. They did get the beat out as well.
Yeah, big really wall there that let the VQ squad to disengage there. Oh, Bufayez falls low, but he has an annihilation. He has the survivability here, and he has the damage in spades. Bufayez of closing down that fight. And yeah, now Dystopia are looking in control. 1 minute 20 remaining. Their central Japan has to make the switch over to Ramatra. And I mean, yeah, like we've talked about it before this map, Ramatra has been the flavor of the month here for the past 12 months,
has.
I would say. So it does make sense, but here comes
Been a very long, been a very long month. Been a very long month.
Absolutely. The High Noon doesn't catch anything though.
No, High Noon gets nothing.
Bufayas gets frozen.
Gets frozen. Jamal gets picked off, I think, for that one as well. Tomic finds Whitebeard and Zoro finishes off everyone else. They got an amazing opening fight there. Not having to pop any ults either. Pretty much only Dystopia had to pop their High Noon. Not that they had really anything else at their disposal, but they're able to save the ults they have, build a bit more ult charge.
Dystopia will be able to dodge here, I think. They still have the Kitsune Rush, and the TP will let them do that as well. So here comes the Kitsune Rush from VQ as well.
We do still have Kael's arm. Tidal Wave is there ready. And down it goes onto central lap line to put a bit more pressure onto the back line. But Jamal's TP gets broken, but he gets get back in it. And Central Lap finds two. So they get a third. They do take down gas in return, and that's it. They are able to get the second checkpoint, keeping their hopes alive for this game, and they cut it very close. They did have a 5-minute time bank for that second point.
I mean, not as close as Dystopia did.
No,
remember, they did grab
close,
every single point in overtime. But yeah, now VQ has the Blizzard, they have the Zoro ult, the OC, and they have the Central Appan's Annihilation. They have a lot of the tools they would need to secure themselves the cap. But ooh, finds Kyle, and that is a big pick to start this fight off.
Yeah, definitely amazing fight. Zoro getting one themselves, but Central Lap taking on Jamal. I like finding Ooh as well. But it seems everyone's kind of cut off. Everyone's separate. Beautiful snipe from Elias as they do clear up Whitebeard. Down goes Boofer as well, and they got a
They didn't have to use a single ult there.
No, they got
first picked and they didn't have to use a single ult there. Make that make sense. VanirQuick are not here to be to give me common sense. They're here to win it all, and they have 3 ults to close it out. Zoro with a pick, and Central Appan as well.
On the second one, but down goes beat from Whitebeard, but it probably won't be enough because they go down as well. It's just being Boofer gets frozen, taken down, and they do get all the way to the end with a little bit extra time in their bank, which those 20 seconds could mean the huge difference going into overtime.
Yep, they'll switch over to defense now. They have to hold it a little bit better than they did in the previous round. But okay, bad news. Overtime will come way quicker here for VQ, and they I don't think they've won a single overtime fight in this map yet. So it's not looking that good for them. However, they do have more time. They do have the better squad. They do have the better mental. And Elias on the Mei has been key in this match so far. If he can build the Blizzard before overtime, I think that's going to be the deciding factor.
It will be a fight winner, easily. They can easily get one pick with it if it's placed well enough, but it's all about can they build it within this 1 minute, and along with their attack, can they build it in that time. It all matters on most overtime situations in this specific situation where both teams barely have a minute. It all comes down to can you stagger off this first fight. If you can do well enough this first fight, it can be really hard to recover. So depending on how well Dystopia or VQ do here in this singular minute,
it's whoever builds ults first is usually the one with more chances in the overtime push.
More likely, yeah, definitely.
So I mean, yeah, it's a tall task for VQ to build ultimates as quickly as possible, but that's a really good headshot from Elias there.
Yeah, very deadly headshot, but it seems they do get taken down. Zoro gets a nice railgun shot onto finishing them off in the opening pick, and that's forces Dystopia already back. Half the time bank is already gone.
Yeah.
So that
VQ are so good at breaking these teleporters in mere seconds, and Dystopia aren't fast enough to go through that teleporter. Ooh, got caught off. So off guard.
Okay, so able to recover a little bit. The main will just provide a little bit of space, but they're getting ran down as Boofer gets very aggressive. Does go out on Nemesis form though. But Zoro has a nice pick on the Whitebeard. 10 seconds left. Lucio's only going to be able to get back in overtime just barely, but Elias is trying to find a nice open pick, but gets taken down by Ooh, then a nasty little headshot. Trading 1-for-1, but unfortunately the white mid will get back way quicker than Elias can. And no ults already. Elias is so far off Blizzard, but Zoro's almost there with the ult, but central left gets a nice pick onto Jamal with the tunnel. But just barely holding on to the Elias.
Overclock here from Zoro.
This is going to be a game changer. Can they get an opening pick or just burst someone down? They're trying to put pressure onto Lucio, but can't find it. Both Junior Rush is coming out, but Annihilation coming off the central outbound, trying to run someone down. But so much damage is getting put onto them, they can't do anything. But they C9!
Bufayas was not able to touch! And VanirQuick hold on point 1. They complete the full hold only 2 rounds late. But they do it in such a weird fashion here with a C9. Definitely. It was lucky, but you do need some luck sometimes here. And VQ...
That drop in health definitely got scary because Druva did drop to about 150, 200 give or take. So obviously they're in very risk of getting easily like one shot by a nasty headshot from Soldier or the Maze bringing them down. So it makes it Wally backed off a little bit, but they evidently must have not realised just how far back the rest of the team was. So they were the sole reason they were sticking a point. And it seems to be Q were going for their tried and true Cat Bastion here on their attack.
What's your favorite animal?
That could be lethal.
Dystopia, I don't think it could be ready for it.
Jamal and Farah.
Oh, that's
they're
not good
dead.
against Cat Bastion. They're so done.
They're dead. They're so dead.
So far, we don't know what else is Jamal's character pool. So far, we've seen Sim, Tracer, and Farah. All 3 of which are not good into Cat Bastion. Elias, please get off Junkrat. Do not scare me.
I mean, Tracer's pretty good. Tracer's really good into pretty much anything. But yeah, I mean,
Tracer does what she wants.
If VQ do roll out on Bastion, there's nothing that Dystopia will be able to do. No. I mean, Ooh will have to be the sole, the sole counter to that. They're on the Cat Bastion.
They've been picked though.
Okay, they discounted though. I think.
Yeah,
it did look like they scouted. Yes, they did.
The Bastion did get pinged on, so they are aware of their presence. But it can be so difficult to put pressure on them, especially Jamal is just going to have to try and get some hopeful and lucky pot shots coming into the back line. But it'll come down to because they're given so much free space here, and it's so difficult not to.
Yeah, against the Cat Bastion, one wrong move and you're dead.
But central
up and very low, yeah, indeed. Here comes a swing from Cat Bastion. He's doing a little bit of damage, but Elias gets picked off by Jamal.
Elias has gone for the cannon form instead of the turret form, for the minigun form, which is interesting because I mean obviously they wouldn't have known that there was the Farah, but I feel like the turret would have been a bit more useful against the flying target. But then again, the sheer damage it can put on squishies, being able to easily like 2-shot more or less, is also good. But they're going to really try some value here. They've only got 20 seconds left on the clock. Bastion is rapidly building up that ult. Elias will be able to get a barrage here, potentially forcing out some crucial cooldown. There goes
Here comes the Bastion swing. It gets a pick onto the Cassidy, the biggest counter to this Cat Bastion comp. That is the pick you want to see if you're VQ. Jamal. And okay, Farah exposed low, not quite, but Bufayas and Whitebeard are the ones to fall first, and VQ win map 2, but it was so close.
Yeah, that was even closer than Oasis, and it shows Dystopia are able to hold their own and even come so close to winning. It was just the fact their unfortunate comp just was so hard countered by a Cat Bastion, and that's what VQ took advantage of. They realized that super quickly, that there was a glaring weakness, and they took advantage, found the instant pick they needed onto who was potentially the only real threat for the Cat and the Bastion. So well played for them to realizing that, but it's all kind of coming down to the wire now very quickly, so Dystopia are gonna have to try and pull something out here soon.
Yeah, their backs are against the wall in the series. They need a reverse sweep to advance to the upper semifinals. VQ are looking in control, but if you look, okay, they're looking in control if you look at the scoreboard, but in reality, it was so hard fought on both maps that the scoreboard doesn't show just how good this match was so far. Dystopia has a chance still. Dystopia is not to be counted out here. They still can bring this back.
I mean, like you said, the scoreboard, it doesn't tell the whole story, because if you looked at that and say, for whatever, like a 3-0, you think, oh, it must have been a hard stomp. No, it could have been like that Circle Realm where it literally just came down to one fight difference for whoever won that map.
Yeah.
And it shows
One
like
pick
you were saying,
difference.
literally that pick onto the Cass might have been the simple game decider, but
Yeah,
it all comes down to that.
even if it was a different hero that the Cat Bastion picked off, that could have been a different story because Cass
Yeah.
was the most important pick. It was the only thing that could have like done something to the Cat Bastion with the hit scan pressure, and it was just out just like that in the fight, and yeah, that secured them the victory on that map. Just that one pick.
Yeah, definitely, and it's interesting to see how Dystopia can combat this. As I think we all know here, VQ they love their Cat Bastion. You see them put it out semi-regularly. It tends to at least come out once a series, and it evidently puts in the work as it is the deciding factor in this game that we just seen. So it'll be interesting to see how do Dystopia come back from this, as now we are match point to VQ. So but their backs are against the wall. If they want to take home this series, they're going to have to reverse sweep, which unironically I think they are more than capable of. They've put in the work and they can easily win. So if it's just simple small fight deciders. So
You cannot discount them. Yeah.
no, it might be 2-0 up to VQ, which is we love to see it. But at the same time, Dystopia, honestly, I'm so impressed with these roster changes. Like we said, they weren't doing great at this beforehand, but now they've come back swinging 6-win streak already, and they're putting up good work against VQ, who are monsters. So
Yeah.
I'm loving seeing this competitiveness. Things no one loves an easy sweep. They're boring to watch. I'm sure the players are probably bored as well. But an intense match, even if it does end up in a 3-0, it's still been a crazy good series so far.
Yeah, Dystopia has come a long way from being 3-0'd by VQ, but you know, there's still a chance for them to get 3-0'd here, which just doesn't feel legal.
It will feel illegal, but it'll be a much closer series than the last one. I'm sure of that. They can go home. They can go home thinking that they definitely put in way more work this time and had VQ against the wall multiple times so far this series. So it's not the fact they did not get stomps, because it's like we said. Like I said before, the scoreboard does not tell the story of this series.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I do see that we have some map picks and some bans on the FACEIT room. And it's gonna be a Runa. Oh, I'm spoiling. I didn't say anything.
Oh, spoiling, naughty.
It's gonna be Runa Sapi, picked by Dystopia. I didn't spoil anything.
No, must have been the
wind.
Did you? No, it must have been the wind. Okay, Rinsapi, honestly, I think Rinsapi is hated a bit too much from what I see a lot of people online say. I think it's actually on the right map. I quite enjoy it.
I think it's the worst push map, but I mean, it's just push. Push is really good. Game mode.
I despise Esperanza. Don't worry, this ain't better than New Queen.
Like... Esperanza is the one Nah, Esperanza is top 2 push maps along with Colosseo.
Colosseo, I think, is the undisputed best push map. It's undisputed. I can't think of too many things wrong with it, but I can think of definitely something wrong with every other push map easily.
No, Esperanza is really good.
I just hate how much high ground's on it.
Well,
too much,
yeah,
too much high ground.
But I'm a tracer player, so I can just get around that. So
I mean, I play Hazard, so I shouldn't be. I play a lot of dive tanks. It's just the fact a lot of people don't know how to play.
Why are you complaining? Yeah, you should be fine. But either way,
fine. I do not like it when I have a Zenyatta who's just kind of dawdling along in the backline and gets dove every 5 seconds. That's not fun.
Yeah, fair enough. But going back to the match,
bans?
I do not see a Cat or a Bastion ban from Dystopia. No. This is one of the best Cat Bastion maps.
It is.
And VanirQuick are able to pull it off. They banned the Tracer here, which
that makes sense.
You know,
Jamal
is insane.
Yes, I think that's a perfectly understandable ban. The Malga, though, is a bit more questionable because we have seen Central pull it out, but they haven't got much value of it. Obviously, it didn't do much against the Wrecking Ball. Kind of got pushed over. Didn't find it at all. We never saw it once in the second map. So it's an interesting
the bans from Dystopia haven't really made sense to me that much.
I mean, maybe they got rid of Malga to do a bit less damage because we do see Boofer back on the Wrecking Ball, which we like to see.
I guess.
They've gone for an interesting comp here.
Wouldn't you want to ban D.Va in that case? I mean, I guess you beat D.Va with this comp already.
Yeah, D.Va's already struggles into this comp, so maybe that's why. But it's still an interesting combo. I mean, Zoro's back on the fray after getting banned last round,
Yeah.
so it makes a lot of sense. And they've got him running. It seems like Elias has swapped round and gone to Shion themselves, which is, I think, is perfectly fine. Jamal matching that as well, so we're going to see a lot of Shion 1v1s, I'd imagine. But Dystopia have now gone for the Mizuki. And Kyle stayed on the Wu Yang. I would not be surprised if we do see Kyle swap over to a Mizuki very shortly, because, well, we did see how much impact it did have on Boofer.
We've seen how good Dystopia looked on the ball, but can they prove it again? Kyle already finding that pick onto Office, and Jamal falls to central up, and it doesn't look like the first fight will go the way of Dystopia. VanirQuick, very quick with the picks here, and they're getting a little bit of stagger as well here.
Yeah, instantly off to an amazing start. VQ looking really strong going into this third point. They are getting hungry for that victory. They want that clean 3-0. They want that history to repeat itself. But I don't think Dystopia out team. Sometimes you have a bad first fight and it makes a lot of, it happens, it's push, it happens. Sometimes one pick can lead to snowball the whole match. But I think, but never,
how does who fall there?
Yeah, I'd be really curious to see where all the help are, but Jamal gets a nice pick onto Elias. Why do they find Kyle? This is what I'm talking about. They can easily fight back just because they want one good fight at the start. Does not mean it's their favor. Boofer gets, very low. That burst damage coming out from Zoro is really hurting. As they are trying to escape to get us a little bit here and just to get there to get out there. Robot's still contested, and the Super are trying to make some leg room for themselves, but that Arista is unstoppable, cannot be moved, as they are getting so close to the Terror Surge.
Yeah, VQ are holding this angle so well. I mean, they're down a player, but they're still holding onto this little room here. That's how good Orisa is holding down, anchoring a position. But, I mean, sooner or later, you'll have to make a move. And here goes Central up, and KO finds a kill into Whitebeard here, and falls as well. Zoro does fall to Bufayez, but VQ are up two players, and they're in control.
KO on the Mizuki, I did say they'd swap over instantly, and it makes a lot of sense, and they've always had amazing value of it. But Jamal did get a nice pick on opening onto the Elias, but they do get, VQ have gotten themselves to checkpoint, so they've got that further spawn, which is so crucial to staggering and getting that snowballing as well on push. But it all comes down to can they find some value in these ultimates. Dystopia, they've got a lot coming online, especially I'm looking at Shion right now.
Kitsune rushes comes out from each side, and the fight is starting here, but Zoro finally killed him. And Central Weapon finding a kill as well. This is a
monster, getting so much value. Oh, and Boofer gets speared off the map, just the cherry on top. What an amazing team fight though coming out from VQ. Both teams only having to pop the Kitsune rush, and it all just came down to the simple DPS picks. They're so crucial in this fight. And Zoro
do have a lot of ultimates going to the next fight here. And I mean, maybe this push will finally come to an end, but does Central Weapon has to say it.
VQ basically match their ults more or less, as down goes the mines. Does not get any pick, but it does create the space. They are finally able to get control of the top, but Central gets a nice pick on the Alfie really early on. And we do see Jamal get taken down very low. Kyle going for a bit of a flank, finding them, taking them down. A nice bike hits Whitebeard, getting run over, and they get finished off by Zoro. Central Labman's able to continue pushing the point, and they just get back on the wheels and continue
just the ult from Domix there. Just that one Kitsune rush to secure that fight. Dystopia, they switch the ball, they use the mines, they use so many ultimates, they only have the beat against the absolutely big old bank of VQ.
Oh, Bufo is getting harassed right now, getting pushed around like nothing. Elias does go in with the ult, does find one on the LP, really huge pick. Jamal gets one from Zoro, who finds a pick onto something as well, the railgun. Elias trades back onto Jamal and is having losing a 1v1 to a sim turret. My god, Elias. You can't pop off like that and lose a 1v1. You got there in the end. Barely. Then Shalatman finds a nice pick onto and it seems they've recovered from this very back and forth team fight as the UC group is running with them, does find Elias, and they do control over the bot as Shalatman is going to back off. It's not lost, but it's
I mean, VQ did use so many ultimates in that fight, and they didn't win it either. Dystopia now has the overclock, the sole ultimate available for either team, and that is going to be a big ultimate. Nothing here to stop from absolutely firing down the barrel.
Yeah, getting loads of damage and loads of pressure onto VQ as they're forced to back off, start to lose forward spawn and giving them a little bit of space. Central Atlas doesn't want to do that. Tomic's popping the Kasuni Rush. They find Jamal instantly, rushing him down with Elias. Finds another. Can he get any more damage? We do see Elias going for a nasty flank. It's a load of damage onto Alfie. As the Kasuni Rush itself gets popped. Annihilation coming out from Boofer. Could use it bits by Vinny. Ooh, gets a nice opening pick onto Zorro as well. The trade back. They're trying to burst down these supports, but not finding any value. Elias finds Alfie in return. But he's having to back off now with the supports going down one after another. They are going to have to give the space back to VQ and allow them to continue their push after using three ults, sorry, for what I believe was one. So it's not been a positive trade. It's been a very negative trade for Dystopia here.
I mean, VQ are dragging these fights out so nicely. Yes, there's a beat here, but here comes the ultimate of Kael. The Sanctuary is able to just completely, like,
it negates any push.
Yeah, negate any value of the beat.
Now got Surge. Oh, a nice pick with the bowler coming out to Zoro with the combination with the Terra Surge. You do find the huge opening pick. Zoro gets a little bit low though, but we can see though. Central Atlantic does go down to Ooh with a nasty railgun shot as everyone else was cut off and they got way too much damage in the handle with no support to back them up. Zoro doing their best to try and make a mess of the lost fight, but Boofer's able to finish them off in the Vortex. And they do get themselves the control back after Ooh finds another pick and trying to look for another, but they're not going to stagger Kael.
Yeah.
To be fair, Kael will just stall the points. They want to get as much push as quick as they can now. So
finally, the push begins for Dystopia, but is it too late? Only 3 minutes remaining here for them to match the push of VQ.
It could be worse.
Yes, you have the overclock, but this is such an awkward fight if you're gonna pop that ultimate. There's so much cover here.
Ooh,
but he gets to find. Yeah, he finds 2 picks here.
Ooh finds another one, and Boofer finishes off into a lap dance. He go down, gets a triple kill with the overclock, barely takes him down. Elias down to 1, just by 20 HP, living on a prayer. So now they get the back.
Color me impressed.
Yeah,
I mean that's not usually a space where overclock gets that much value, but I mean, Ooh able to pull it off, and Dystopia find themselves at checkpoint. VanirQuick now with the Kitsune Rush and the Spree. And Zoro ult as well, the bola shot here to try to take back control.
Yeah, 100%. It was so risky. Wyvern gets a nice opening pick onto Elias, exactly what he needs, taking out that ultimate out the fight. But Tomic's pops the Kasuni Rush, getting matched by Alfie. It's both Romantics that go at it, pummeling each other. We do see the bowler coming out, who does find a nice pick onto Jamal as they're able to finish them off. Without any value, Jamal's nowhere near they couldn't get anything out of that. Whitebit does have the beat though in the back pocket, does pop it ready to try and rush down central. They're getting bursting down, but unfortunately there's no one to back them up. Do they survive this? Out comes the annihilation, but down goes Shimo, does find no value. And we still see Dystopia putting up and fighting for their life. As Buda gets taken down so very low. The support team tries back up, but Kyle finishes them off with a nice cheeky bubble to the back. And unfortunately there was no support coming in there. For Boofer could not get any value with that.
That was a war away. That was a war of attrition. Both teams putting up so much fight in that one engagement, and I mean VanirQuick do go up on top, and Kael finding another stagger here onto Jamal. Dystopia are going to be forced so far back, and VQ are probably going to get the forward spawn here as well. I mean, now Dystopia does have a lot of ultimates. Go to the next fight. They have the overclock again, but he gets picked off.
The snipe from downtown by Zoro, taking down Ooh as they run after, make such a brutal opening pick as they get to the wall, pushing it so close to the end of the map. They only have a minute left on the clock, but Central Atlantic pops the annihilation, finds Jamal, and see Elias putting a bit of pressure through the backline. Central Atlantic just holding the block, trying to put as much pressure, hold the points as long as possible. And we do see Zoro trying to get as many picks. Elias going in with the bubble, straight onto Ooh, finishes him off, takes down Alfie in return. Central Atlantic continues with the annihilation, taking down Boofer as the point continues pushing, and I can't see any way Boofer get completely locked into one Dystopia. No one can get out. The Regiment Stop comes out. Can they touch?
Oh no!
They get a touch. Jamal.
Wait, did he get the shit? Nice.
Goes down. Regiment barely contested point. Zoro is that amazing pick. But down comes the Kasuni Rush on both sides of one last ditch effort. We do see Venture come out from Ooh as well. Another crucial last ditch pick. Prospect gets a nice opening onto Alfie as well. But crucial headshot. Central Atlantic finds a pummel onto Jamal. Alliance takes down Whitebeard with no supports and Ben shot on very low HP. Boofer on half health. Central Atlantic takes them down. It's a very last minute touch coming out from Wrecking Ball, but they get taken down by Zoro, and that is it. VQ with a much more convincing Game 3, take the series 3-0, and they move on in playoffs.
Yeah, that was a
My
stark
word.
contrast to the
Yeah.
first two maps. VQ were able to absolutely roll through the opposition. Jamal on 7 and 10. I mean, basically no stats there from Dystopia. They were
Jamal could not do
annihilated.
much. Oh, that speed off the map. That was the cherry on top of that fight. It was brutal. But my word, it might have got to Dystopia because, you know, you lose 2 really close games back to back. Going
Yeah.
into a third, I'm sure anybody that's played in this sort of competitive scene, you know, that hurts so much, losing so many 2 close games, and it might have got to them. We did see, like, Jamal did not put up as good a performance we've seen. Though was still putting in good numbers, was, I'd say, a main reason obviously they got as far as they did with that, as we did see that amazing overclock play on just before their checkpoint. But it was so back and forth. But VQ did come out on top. They had a bit more mental fortitude, I think, going into map 3.
Yeah, and on the other side of the bracket, Good Guys did beat Team Rats, and
Okay.
that's gonna be the match that VanirQuick is gonna have to face. They're gonna have to face Good Guys in the semis. On the top side of the bracket, Team Peps got a forfeit win against Young and Beautiful, and Gas
Did it-
Tier 3 Not Job won against Wasp, and yeah, it's gonna be Team Peps against them to battle it out.
Good luck to them.
But I do say battle. It's probably gonna be a massacre.
It might be a slaughter, but hey, we wish them luck. We wish everyone luck, and we got to look forward to the VQ's next game against, like we said, the Good Guys, was it not?
Good Guys, yeah.
It should be
It's
a
gonna
very,
be
very
in
good
2
series.
days.
Yeah, I think
7th of August. Mark that on your calendars.
Yep, already marked it. I think it's going to be an amazing game. So, yeah, honestly, fair play to everyone. I can't really fault them. They've played that exceptionally, and especially Dystopia. Once again, I've got to give slightly more credit to their new roster. They truly put in the work today.
Yeah, they took VanirQuick on the ride. I was gonna say it took them the distance, but they didn't. This somehow felt like a 5-map series, but it only lasted 3. And yeah, I mean, Dystopia, they didn't win this one out. They didn't even take a map, but they definitely
They
put up a fight.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, Dystopia was not as close as the last 2 maps, but they truly showed why they were here in playoffs, and they've proven that they can hold their own against some of what we'd class as the better teams here in Masters. So fair play to them. I'm looking forward to see what else this new roster can do as we do see some of their future games, and wish them the best luck in the lower bracket. But that may be it from us here today, as we are going to have to love you and leave you and get ready and look forward to our next match, which, like we said before, will be on in 2 days' time. So I've been the Holy Monkey, joined by the amazing Zima, and once a quick shout out to our amazing broadcast crew of Lego there, for our producer and our amazing observer, Corvid. A special thanks as well to Respawn. So thanks again for watching, and we will see you all very soon.
I've just been told that Capster is watching. Hi.
Hi. Scary.
Okay, bye.
And bye, Kevster. See you later.